Okay, let's talk about Azure API Management. This is the scenario. We have Jason, okay, a developer that is experienced but not experienced with Azure. And he has this scenario. He has a very popular website. Well, it's just become crazy popular because the New York Times have written an article. He's now got the situation where he'll be getting 10,000 API calls a minute. He's got emails coming in from devs all around the world. They want to integrate with this great new service. They're completely sold on this article, and it sounds like they've got a great product and they want to use it. Then a random person like Elon Musk tweets about the great product. He's holding their product, and now it's going to really go big time. And by the way, this does happen. We have, the Kardashians. They just happen to wear a certain dress or have a certain logo in the background or a product, and there's lots of articles about how those products just go nuts. So we need a nice API to give to external developers. This guy calls Jason into his office. Mr. DevOps says, "Hey Jason, have you seen the New York Times article?" Jason goes, "Yeah, I have. I've got it all under control." And Mr. DevOps said, "Oh yeah, tell me." He goes, "I'm going to use Swagger." Swagger! All right. And this guy goes, "All right, are you an idiot? Are you a total idiot? You need to protect and optimize your APIs. You need usage quotas and rate limits. You need a modern API. You need nice documentation. You need caching, security authentication, nice reporting, and reporting per client using your API. They need individual reporting. We need protection. Not all these people using our API are going to be friendly. Some of them are going to be our competitors. They're going to smash our servers. We need to implement usage quotas and rate limits. How long is that going to take you?" And poor Jason is sitting there going, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what would be involved in doing this." Because obviously for a normal developer who develops data over forms applications regularly, starting to do a lot of this type of work is outside normal work. It's, you're going to have to do a lot of load testing. It's really not common. So all of a sudden this is quite a bit of work. This is kind of the setup that we're talking about. Jason is essentially now an API publisher. He's publishing his API. He'll need a portal to work with. The people that read the New York Times article are app developers, and they will need to go to a portal to work out how to call this API. Most portals you go to are kind of like, even Facebook have one, developer.facebook.com, okay? And sometimes they're API. Whatever they are, website. So these guys are going to develop this, then they're going to make an app. The app is going to go through a gateway potentially. If it's on-premise data, it'll go through some VPN, etc. So that's where we're at. So I am just going to fly through this.
Okay, sure. Just this one is another demo that when you provision API management, it takes 20 minutes to half an hour to provision. So it's a really slow resource to provision, but it's got a lot of features. So
we're going to short circuit the demo for this guy, and we're going to tell you what would be involved. You'd create a resource, you'd press type API management, you'd enter some details, and then you press create and go and get a coffee. All right, so let's just have a look at the UI. We would create a resource here, we'd enter API management here. We would then choose API management from one of the blades. You'd read what it does, but it has everything that you want. It has beautiful documentation. It has throttles and rate limits, quotas. It will monitor the health. You get modern formats like REST. You can connect to the APIs, gain magic analytics, and then you press create and you enter some details down here. So we'll enter some details, and then you press create. It'll spin around for a while without this nice image. You'll see down here very subtly how long it's taking, and then eventually it will say done. And you can see in this case, it took 35 minutes, all right? So it's kind of slow. And then you will then go and open it and have a look. So you'll click on this guy, and then you'll be in here, and then the first thing you might probably start with is the APIs. Okay, and you click on your API here, you end up with this publishing portal, which we believe is going away. That's why we put the image there. That's how it is right now. You'll press Open API, and think of Open API as essentially Swagger. All right, that's your Swagger stuff. And so in here, and I should just show you, I do want it to be clear, unlike a lot of Azure stuff, this one it costs money. And most customers are pretty happy with Basic. Most of our customers are pretty happy with it. Can you tell me what is 28 cents an hour? I'll start with 10. What's 10 cents an hour per month?
Oh, $72.
$72 a month. And what's 28?
$720.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, $200.
$200 a month. So if you want to use this, you've got to be happy to be paying a couple $100 a month. But if you think about what development would be involved in doing this and the beautiful portal you'll get, I think it's well worth it, or certainly worth considering. So let's have a look through here. You'll add your API, you'll go in and then once you've added your Swagger definitions, then the customers out there in the New York Times, you give them your developer.northwind365.com and they're off and running, and that's it. So let's go and have a look at the portal you'll give them. So you click on that, that's the portal they get. Okay, you'll give it a nice URL and you'll customize this so it looks like your company. There's just put the logo there, but you can customize all this. There's the APIs and all that stuff. So this is stuff that it would be crazy to get Jason to develop, and he won't do as good a job anyway, and this will keep improving, etc. So the benefits of having a site like that, all your customers will get a first-rate developer experience. They can read your docs really nice. They've even got a nice interactive console to test your API. They get their own analytics. They can make it so that they invite people or people just come and request access. In addition, one other thing I should mention, you can have some crazy, ugly stuff inside your company. You could have a whole bunch of old, ugly ASMX web services. Remember those things? And many companies still have them. But you can put this on the front, and all your customers that read the New York Times and then start using this go, wow, very modern, very nice. They don't know you got crusty stuff inside. We have our own situation where we have a timesheeting app that we have. It's called sswtimepro.com, and that has an API. But part of it is also a CRM part, and we're using CRM, Microsoft CRM. And we haven't moved that part. It's using CRM 2016. That has not gone to the cloud yet. So we want to move that to Dynamics, to the cloud. So what would we do today? We would say, well, here's one API and here's another API. And then when we get rid of that, we say, sorry, that API is gone. Here's the new one, use that, right? But what we could do instead is we could say, hey, we've got this beautiful API. It's, when we concatenate different services underneath. And then when we pull out that CRM and put the new one in, we don't have to issue any announcements to our customers and say, hey, things have changed. They just keep using it because it's this cover on top. So it's pretty sexy stuff. Yeah, it is the best way to monitor and protect your APIs. Now, be aware, I know it's called Azure API Management, but it's got nothing to do with Azure. Like, you don't have to have anything in Azure to use this. You could just have a whole lot of services in your company and you want to put out a front there for your nice portal, just use it. It's got nothing to do with really Azure. All right, the only downside is it actually does cost money, and it can cost a small amount of money per month, or can cost thousands. So my verdict for this is much more than lipstick on a pig. All right? And did some searching on pigs and Donald Trump tweets, and none of them were applicable to put here, unfortunately. All right.
Does it have like billing capability also? So if I have an API, I want to bill customers of the users of that API, does it have that capability as well?
Well, I know many people using it have billing, so you can, I believe that you can put, can you do Google, just to double check? But I think that you can have extra modules that you plug into their portal. Yeah. So I don't know for sure, but I have seen it.
Yeah, I know you can monitor the usage per customer because you can set up usage quotas and so forth.
But the idea is to have that information and charge what is applicable. So I'm not sure how you could potentially just call out to another API to get the amount that you're going to charge them. All right, any other questions?
Does it have so does this mean it's a sort of a replacement of MuleSoft or Google Apogee server?
What's MuleSoft?
It's similar type of API management only, but it's very costly.
I don't know MuleSoft.
And Apogee server, API GE server of Google.
Sorry, can you just spell that second one?
Second one, API GEE.
Apogee.
Okay, and the other one is called Mule, is it?
MuleSoft.
MuleSoft and Google Apogee server.
Well, all I can tell you is the name's not worse.
They are $1 billion company.
Right, okay, MuleSoft and API GG.
MuleSoft was recently bought over by Salesforce.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have heard of both of these, but never got to use them because, like I say, they are very expensive to use.
They are very expensive.
And I don't think the developer experience feedback I've had so far about these is very hard, very difficult. Yeah.